I'm Megan Reynolds, and this is how I became a mermaid. So my journey to becoming a mermaid started with a PR email. Aqua Mermaid is part actual workout and part childhood nostalgia fantasy for anyone who dreamed of being Ariel as a child. So I traveled to a suburban pool outside of Chicago to meet a woman named Mermaid Nora, who would teach me her ways. Despite many close friends believing that I indeed cannot swim, I was determined to prove them wrong. I was going to put on a tail, hop into a public pool in Chicago, and try not to drown. So my transformation from regular woman to mermaid began with the tail. It's made out of bathing suit material, stretchy, printed with fish scales, with the monofin at the bottom attached by a zipper. Wriggling into the tail does not make you feel glamorous, attractive, or competent. So I got in the water and tried really hard not to fall down in the shallow end. Once your tail is on, standing up is impossible because you're a mermaid now. First, you just try to swim from one end of the pool to the other using my new best friend, the pool noodle. Swimming with a tail is a revelation. At one point, I got a little overzealous and kicked my feet out of the fin, and Mermaid Nora had to strap me back in like you would a toddler tying their shoes. Another part of learning to be a mermaid is learning cute tricks. The first was the tail wave, which requires you to scull, so keeping your body aloft in the water using just your hands. It's quite hard. So you do that, you bring your knees to your chest and launch your tail into the air to give your other mermaid sister a high five. I'm very ashamed to admit that I almost drowned doing this. Mermaid tails are very heavy. Tail stands are even harder. You basically do a handstand while lifting wet polyester and a plastic fin up out of the water. Oh, and you have to look graceful while doing it. My first attempt was similar to a whale breaching. Then we moved into deeper water, which was terrifying. All of my classmates started to somersault with ease and grace, and I did not. I'd never done one before, and shockingly, it wasn't easier with a tail. Backward somersaults, however, are much more graceful when you're a mermaid. But somehow I ended up like 9 feet down towards the bottom of the pool while everyone else was hovering somewhere near the middle. The class ended with a group flotation session, which was very relaxing, much like the end of a yoga class. I would have been content doing that the entire time. I'll admit I was sad to say goodbye to the tail, but I was pretty content to watch the superior mermaids do their thing. Being a mermaid is definitely not as easy as it seems. You end up swallowing a lot of pool water, and your entire body aches for hours afterwards. But for a brief time, you get to live the fantasy, and it's not that bad.